You eat well, you stay active every day, but your body still feels weaker. Climbing stairs feels harder. Your hands tremble a bit when lifting heavy things, and your memory just isn't what it used to be. If you're over 60, this isn't just normal aging. It may be a sign of a silent biological shift where your muscles stop listening. Millions of older adults in America are experiencing this. They are not lazy, they're not undernourished, they're simply facing a condition called anabolic resistance, where the body loses its ability to turn protein into muscle, even with regular meals and daily movement. But here's the good news: you can reverse muscle loss after 60. You can regain muscle naturally, and you don't need a gym membership or expensive medications to do it. In today's video, I'm going to share a new approach, a combination of cutting-edge muscle biology and a natural supplement for muscle in seniors. It's a simple compound backed by decades of research. Once thought to be only for bodybuilders, now recognized as one of the most effective supplements for older adults when it comes to muscle building after 60. We'll explore why your muscles no longer respond like they used to, what's really happening inside your cells, and how you can reawaken your body's muscle-building systems naturally and safely. If you're looking for a sustainable way to get stronger, sharper, and more in control of your own body, you're in the right place. The journey to regaining muscle naturally after 60 starts right. Number 1. What is anabolic resistance, and why it's the silent thief of aging muscle? There's a hidden reason your body stops responding the way it used to, a reason your muscles ignore your healthy meals, and your workouts don't seem to make a difference. It's something almost no one talks about, but it's quietly stealing your strength year after year. It's called anabolic resistance, and if you're over 60, chances are it's already affecting you. Let me tell you about Frank at 67. He still eats well, walks every day, tries to stay active. But lately, things have changed. Climbing stairs leaves him winded, carrying groceries takes more effort, and even after a full meal, he doesn't feel as strong as he used to. What's going on? Why does the same effort bring fewer results? This is where anabolic resistance comes in. It's not about motivation, it's not about willpower, it's about how your muscle cells respond to signals. And after 60, those signals grow faint. Think of your muscles like a crew waiting for instructions. When you're young, protein or exercise sends a clear message: build, repair, strengthen, and the crew gets to work immediately. But as you age, those messages get fuzzy, the crew doesn't move, the system slows down. This is anabolic resistance, a biological shift where your muscles no longer respond strongly to what used to work. Protein, strength training, even hormones like insulin and testosterone. Here's what research shows: a younger adult might trigger muscle growth with 20 grams of protein, but someone over 60 might need 30 or 40 grams, plus a stronger signal, to get the same effect. And that matters because muscle isn't just about appearance, it's about function. It helps regulate blood sugar, protect joints, prevent falls, and keep your metabolism working like it should. When muscle declines, everything gets harder, not just movement but life. Now, here's the good news: anabolic resistance isn't permanent, it's not a sentence. It's a signal, and the right strategies can turn it back on. I remember Carla, a 71-year-old woman who felt her strength slipping. She walked every day, ate carefully, but still felt herself weakening. Until she learned this: her body wasn't broken, it was just no longer hearing the same messages. Once she shifted her strategy, everything started to change. And that's the lesson here: you don't need to do more, you just need to do it smarter. Coming up next, we'll explore one of the most important shifts you need to make something many people get wrong: why protein alone isn't enough anymore after 60. If what I've said so far makes sense, stick with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll learn what to do differently to reverse muscle loss after 60 and start building strength naturally and effectively. Let's go there now. Number 2. Why protein alone isn't enough anymore after 60. It's written in the same warm, storytelling tone and includes a clear explanation, relatable examples, a takeaway, and a smooth transition into the next section. When we think about building muscle, most of us focus on one thing: protein. And for good reason. Protein gives your body the raw materials, amino acids, to repair and grow muscle tissue. But here's something most people don't realize after 60. Protein isn't always enough. Imagine trying to build a house. You have all the bricks you need, but the workers are tired, the tools are rusty, and the power keeps cutting out. That's what it's like trying to build muscle in an aging body. You may be eating enough protein, but if your body can't use it properly, the bricks just sit there unused, wasted. This is the other side of anabolic resistance. It's not just that your muscles stop responding to exercise. They also become less efficient at using protein to build and repair tissue. In your 30s, a meal with 20 grams of protein might be enough to stimulate full muscle protein synthesis, but in your 60s, your body may need more than that, plus the right internal conditions to even respond at all. I've seen this time and again: older adults eating clean, doing light exercise, taking care of themselves, but still watching their strength fade. Let me tell you about Leonard, 70 years old. Every morning, he'd make a smoothie with almond milk, banana, and a scoop of plant protein. He walked 5 days a week, but over time, he noticed his legs getting weaker and his balance felt off. When we looked closer, we found two problems. First, his total protein intake was a bit low, but more importantly, his muscles weren't getting the energy they needed to activate muscle protein synthesis in the first place. You see, building muscle isn't just about the materials, it's also about the energy required to do the building. Muscle protein synthesis is one of the most energy-intensive processes in the body, and if your energy systems are sluggish, even a perfect meal won't trigger the growth you expect. That's why so many people after 60 feel stuck there, doing the right things, eating well, moving daily, but the muscle-building machinery inside them isn't turning on. The lesson here is simple but powerful. It's not just what you eat, it's how your body uses it. And to turn that system back on, we need to go a level deeper, into your muscle cells themselves. Because inside those cells is a type of backup energy system, and when it's low, your body struggles to do everything from lifting weights to simply recovering between meals. This is where creatine enters the picture. In the next part of this video, we'll explore exactly how creatine works inside your muscles, why its role becomes even more important with age, and how a simple daily dose can help your body finally respond to the protein and movement you're already giving it. Let's dive into that next. Number 3. How creatine works inside your muscle, and why it matters more with age. Imagine this: you're standing up from a chair, climbing stairs, lifting a bag of groceries. Every single one of those movements requires energy, not just from food, but from inside your muscles, at the cellular level. That energy comes from a molecule called AT. It's the fuel that powers almost every action your body makes, from contracting your muscles, to repairing them, to recovering after activity. But here's something many people don't know: your body only stores enough ATP for a few seconds of effort. After that, it has to make more, and quickly. That's where creatine comes in. Creatine acts like a battery booster. It stores energy in a form called phosphocreatine, and when your ATP runs out, phosphocreatine steps in to recharge it on the spot. Think of ATP like the engine in your car. It drives everything but creatine. It's the fuel reserve that keeps you from stalling halfway through the drive. Now here's where it gets really important. As we age, our natural creatine levels begin to decline, and we store less of it in our muscle cells. A study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology showed that older adults tend to have significantly lower phosphocreatine levels, which means slower recovery, lower strength, and faster fatigue, even from small tasks. That's why many people in their 60s and 70s feel like they just don't bounce back anymore, even after light activity or a short walk. Let me tell you about Robert. He's 69 and up. Until recently, he was doing fine, But then yard work started feeling harder, his legs would tire faster, and he had to take longer breaks than usual. His doctor said his heart was fine, his blood work looked good, but something was still off. He started taking 5 grams of creatine monohydrate a day, that's it. Just a teaspoon stirred into his morning shake, and within a month he said, "I feel like my legs are actually supporting me again." What happened? His muscles finally had the backup energy they'd been missing, and once energy was restored, everything else, his movement, strength, and recovery, started to improve. The takeaway is simple when it comes to muscle building after 60. It's not just about exercise, it's about giving your cells the fuel they need to respond. And creatine is one of the most effective, natural ways to do that. But here's what's even more surprising: creatine isn't just helping your muscles, it's also helping your brain. Because your brain relies on the exact same kind of cellular energy, and as we age, that system begins to slow down too. In the next section, we'll explore how creatine supports your mind, how it can reduce brain fog, lift your mood, and help you stay mentally sharp naturally. Let's dive into that next. Number 4. Creatine for the brain. Mental fatigue, mood drops, and the forgotten link. When most people hear the word creatine, they think of muscle strength, maybe even bodybuilders at the gym. But what most don't realize is that creatine plays a powerful role not just in the body, but in the brain. Your brain is a high-energy organ. Even though it makes up only 2% of your body weight, it uses up to 20% of your body's total energy. Every thought, every memory, every emotion, they all rely on one thing: ATP, the same energy molecule your muscles use. And just like in muscle, your brain stores a backup source of energy called phosphocreatine. This is where creatine steps in. When your brain is low on fuel, creatine helps recycle energy faster. It keeps your neurons firing smoothly. It helps you think clearly and stay emotionally steady. But here's the thing: as we age, creatine levels in the brain also decline. And that can lead to symptoms we often brush off as just getting older, like mental fatigue in the afternoon, forgetting names, or where you left your keys, or feeling emotionally flat for no clear reason. Let me tell you about Martha. She's 74, sharp, witty, and still volunteers at her local library. But over the past year, she started noticing something was off. She'd feel foggy by midday, forget simple tasks, and sometimes she'd just feel low, without knowing why. She didn't want to jump straight into medication, so her grandson, who studies nutritional science, suggested something simple. Try creatine, just 3 grams a day taken with her lunch. And within weeks, she noticed a difference. She said, "My head feels clearer. I don't get that mid-afternoon crash anymore, and I feel lighter emotionally." This isn't magic, it's energy. It's your brain getting the support it needs to function at its best. Studies have shown that creatine can improve working memory, support mood stability, and even help the brain recover from stress and sleep loss. It helps regulate key brain chemicals like dopamine and glutamate, which influence your ability to focus, feel motivated, and stay emotionally resilient. So here's the deeper lesson: creatine isn't just for performance, it's for presence, for clarity, for emotional steadiness as you age. But here's where many people go wrong. They start using creatine, but don't feel a difference, or they give up too soon, or make common mistakes that limit the benefits. In the next part of this video, we'll walk through the 3 biggest mistakes people over 60 make when trying creatine and how to avoid them so you can get the full benefit, mentally and physically. Let's look at those now. Number 5. The 3 big mistakes people over 60 make when trying creatine. By now, you've seen how creatine can support your muscles and your mind, and maybe you're thinking about giving it a try, or maybe you already have. But here's something important: just taking creatine isn't always enough, because there are 3 common mistakes people over 60 make, and they can prevent you from feeling the full benefits. Let's walk through them so you can avoid them from the start. Mistake number 1: giving up too early. Some people take creatine for a week, maybe 2, and when they don't feel a big change, they stop. But here's the truth: Creatine works through saturation. It needs time to build up in your muscles and brain. That process can take 2 to 4 weeks of daily use, especially in older adults with lower baseline levels. I once spoke with Alan, 68. He took creatine for 5 days, didn't notice much, and shelved the bottle a month later. After learning more, he gave it another shot, this time sticking with it daily. By week 3, he said, "My recovery improved. I had more energy during the day. It crept up on me, but it was real." So the first lesson is, be patient. Creatine doesn't work like caffeine. It's not about a quick jolt. It's about steady improvement over time. Mistake number 2, taking it without food or proper hydration. Creatine is absorbed more efficiently when taken with a meal, especially one that includes protein or carbs. And because creatine pulls water into your muscle cells, not drinking enough water can lead to mild bloating or even headaches in some people. Simple fix: take 3 to 5 grams of creatine with your largest or most protein-rich meal of the day and aim for an extra glass or 2 of water daily when you start. Mistake number 3, not combining it with movement. This one is big. Creatine helps amplify the effects of physical activity, but if you're not giving your muscles any signal to grow, there's nothing to amplify. Think of creatine as a spark plug. It doesn't move the engine by itself. It helps the engine respond better if you turn the key. I've met people who expected results just by adding creatine to their diet, but without some kind of light resistance activity, they saw little change. That leads us to the next step. Because you don't need intense workouts or heavy weights, even simple, gentle exercises, done consistently, can send the signal your muscles need. In the next part of this video, we'll explore how to combine creatine with light, joint-friendly training to build real results, and how just a few minutes of movement a day can dramatically boost the power of this supplement. Let's take a look at that now. Number 6. How to combine creatine with light training for real results. So now you know creatine is like a fuel enhancer. It makes your body more responsive to the right signals. But there's one thing that often gets missed: your body still needs a reason to grow. And that reason comes from movement, specifically light resistance training. Now don't worry, you don't need a gym membership, you don't need to lift heavy weights, you don't even need fancy equipment. Because what your body responds to, especially after 60, is tension. Simple, gentle tension that tells your muscles, hey, we're still being used. Stay strong. Let me give you an example. Margaret is 72. She was hesitant to start any kind of strength training. She had knee issues and didn't feel confident moving quickly. So we started small. Twice a week, she did chair squats, wall push-ups, and a few rows using resistance bands. Each session took about 20 minutes. She also began taking 3 grams of creatine every day. With her lunch after 6 weeks, she was standing up from chairs more easily. She had more energy in the afternoon, and her posture improved noticeably. What changed? Not just the creatine, but the combination of 2 things. Fuel and signal. Creatine made her muscles more responsive, and the gentle training gave her muscles a reason to respond. Here's why this pairing works so well. Muscle growth after 60 relies on a few key pathways, like IGF-1 and mTOR. These are activated by resistance training. Even low-impact, low-intensity movement can turn them on. And when creatine is already in your system, those same pathways respond more strongly. It's like speaking the body's language louder and clearer. So what can you do? Start small. Choose 2 or 3 movements you can do safely at home: chair squats, wall presses, resistance band pulls, or even carrying light groceries intentionally with good posture. Do them 2 to 3 times per week. 10 to 20 minutes is enough to start. Pair that with your daily creatine and give it 4 to 6 weeks. You might be surprised what changes, not just in your strength, but in how you move, how steady you feel, and how confident you become again in your own body. The takeaway here is this: consistency beats intensity. It's not about pushing harder, it's about showing up with the right tools, creatine and movement, day by day. Now you might be wondering, how much creatine should I actually take? What time of day is best? And are all types of creatine the same? Great questions, because using it the right way is what turns creatine from just a supplement into a real daily advantage. In the next part of this video, we'll go over the best dosing strategy, including how much, when to take it, and what kind of creatine gives the best results. Let's break that down next. Number 7. Best dosing strategy: how much, when, and what type of creatine to take. By now, you might be thinking, okay, I'm ready to try this, but how do I take it the right way? That's a smart question, because creatine works best when taken consistently and correctly. Let's break it down into 3 simple pieces: how much, when to take it, and what type to choose. First, how much. You don't need a loading phase like athletes or bodybuilders. Do that old method of taking 20 grams a day for a week. It's unnecessary for most people, especially after 60. Instead, just take 3 to 5 grams per day. That's about 1 teaspoon. It's enough to gradually saturate your muscles and brain over 3 to 4 weeks. If you're smaller or just starting, 3 grams is fine. If you're a bit larger or active, 5 grams is still safe and effective. Second, when should you take it? The good news is, creatine is not time-sensitive like caffeine. It builds up in your system over time. But research suggests it's best absorbed when taken with food, especially a meal that includes carbohydrates or protein. So one great strategy is to take it with your largest meal of the day, or with your post-workout meal if you've done any exercise. Let me tell you about George. He's 73, recently retired, and wanted to regain some strength after a long winter. He started taking creatine with his lunch, usually chicken and rice, just 3 grams a day within a month. He told me, "I didn't feel much at first, but around week 3, I started walking faster and standing taller. My body just felt more awake." That's what happens when you give your body the right fuel consistently. Third, what type of creatine should you use? This part is easy. Stick with creatine monohydrate. It's the most well-studied, most affordable, and most effective form available. You may see other forms advertised, like creatine HCl, buffered creatine, or liquid creatine, but the research still favors monohydrate as the gold standard. If you want easier mixing, look for a micronized version. It dissolves better in water and is gentler on the stomach. And one quick reminder: because creatine pulls water into your muscle cells, make sure to drink a bit more water during the day. Just an extra glass or 2 can help everything work smoothly. So here's your simple daily plan. Take 3 to 5 grams of creatine monohydrate once a day with food and a little extra hydration. No cycling needed, no loading phase, no complicated rules. Just a small daily action that supports your strength, recovery, and mental clarity over time. Now, before you start, you might still have some questions. What if I have kidney concerns? Is creatine safe for older adults? Can women take it too? In the next section, we'll tackle those exact questions and bust some of the most common myths about creatine, especially when it comes to seniors and long-term safety. Let's take a look at the facts next. Number 8. Debunking myths. Is creatine safe for seniors, kidneys, or women? Let's take a moment to clear the air, because even though creatine is one of the most studied supplements in the world, it still comes with a few lingering myths, especially when it comes to seniors, kidneys, and women. So let's look at each one gently, honestly, and with the facts in hand. Myth number 1. Creatine is only for young athletes. This is probably the most common misunderstanding. People imagine bulky bodybuilders, gym rats, or competitive lifters, not someone in their 60s or 70s looking to feel steady on their feet. But here's what the science says. Older adults may benefit more from creatine than any other group. Why? Because natural creatine production declines with age, and because older muscle and brain tissue become less responsive to traditional signals, like protein or light exercise. Creatine helps bring that sensitivity back. Studies have shown that seniors who supplement with creatine gain more lean mass, recover faster, and improve cognitive function, even without intense workouts. Myth number 2. Creatine is bad for your kidneys. This one makes people nervous, and understandably so. No one wants to put extra stress on their body. But here's what decades of research show in healthy individuals: creatine does not damage the kidneys. Over 1,000 studies, including long-term trials on older adults, have shown no harmful effects on kidney or liver function when creatine is taken at recommended doses. Of course, if someone already has existing kidney disease or is on medications that affect kidney function, they should absolutely speak with their doctor first. That's just being wise. But for the average healthy older adult, creatine is safe, gentle, and well tolerated. Myth number 3, creatine isn't for women. This one couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, many women, especially postmenopausal, see real benefits from creatine. Why? Because creatine not only supports muscle, it also helps with bone density, mood, and brain function, which are key concerns for aging women. Let me tell you about Denise. She's 66. She never touched supplements before, but after a slow recovery from a minor fall, she started adding creatine to her routine. Within a month, she noticed stronger legs, more mental focus, and a steadier mood. She told me, "I didn't feel like a different person. I felt like myself again." And that's what this is really about: not changing who you are, but helping your body and mind work the way they're meant to, regardless of your age or gender. So here's the simple truth. Creatine is not just for men, it's not just for athletes, and it's certainly not just for the young. It's for anyone who wants to stay strong, stay sharp, and stay engaged in the life they love. But creatine works best when it's part of something bigger, a lifestyle that supports it. Because while creatine can help recharge your system, it needs the right environment to fully thrive. In the next part of this video, we'll explore 4 powerful lifestyle habits that work in synergy with creatine to amplify its effects on your strength, your energy, and your resilience. Let's walk through those next. Number 9. Synergy, the 4 lifestyle habits that supercharge creatine's effects. By now, you understand how creatine can support your strength, recovery, and even your mental clarity, but here's something powerful to remember. Creatine doesn't work in isolation. It works best when you support it with the right environment. Think of it like planting a seed. Creatine is the seed of potential, but it still needs water, sunlight, and good soil to grow. So let's talk about the 4 lifestyle habits that can dramatically enhance creatine's effects. Simple things you can start doing today, no matter your age or fitness level. Habit 1. Gentle resistance training. We talked about this earlier, but it's worth repeating. Your muscles need a signal to grow, and that signal comes from movement. You don't need to lift heavy, even light bodyweight exercises. Chair squats, wall push-ups, resistance bands are enough to activate the pathways that support growth. When creatine is in your system, those same movements become more effective. You recover faster, you feel stronger, and your muscles stay more responsive over time. Habit 2. Prioritizing good sleep. Muscle growth doesn't happen during exercise, it happens during deep, restful sleep. That's when your body releases growth hormone, repairs tissue, and restores energy. And interestingly, creatine can help here. 2 studies show that creatine may buffer the mental effects of sleep loss, helping you stay sharper even when sleep isn't perfect. Still, nothing replaces good habits. Aim for 7-8 hours. Keep your room cool and dark. Limit caffeine late in the day and try to stay off screens an hour before bed. Habit 3. Nutrient-rich meals. Creatine works better when your body has the building blocks it needs. That means enough protein, around 25 to 30 grams per meal, good fats like omega-3s from fish or flax, and key vitamins like B12, B6, folate, and magnesium, which support energy, metabolism, and brain function. Let me tell you about Richard. He's 70 and started creatine without changing much else. Results were slow at first, but when he started eating more whole foods, adding salmon and greens to his meals, and drinking more water, things shifted. He said it was like creatine finally had something to work with. Habit 4. Movement and hydration throughout the day. One of the easiest and most overlooked habits is daily walking. Even 10-15 minutes after meals can improve blood flow, help shuttle nutrients like creatine into your muscles, and support blood sugar control. And don't forget water. Creatine pulls water into muscle cells, but it only helps if your body has enough to give. Start your day with a full glass sip consistently. Don't wait until you're thirsty. So here's the big picture. Creatine is a powerful tool, but when you combine it with daily movement, solid sleep, real food, and hydration, you create the conditions for long-lasting, meaningful change. And maybe the most encouraging part, none of these habits are extreme. They're all gentle, practical, and within reach, even if you're just getting started in your 60s, 70s, or beyond. Which brings us to a bigger truth. Muscle loss after 60 isn't inevitable. Your body hasn't stopped listening, it just needs a new language. In the final part of this video, we'll bring it all together and show you how to take that first small step today towards strength, resilience, and a deeper connection with your health. Let's finish strong. Conclusion: your muscle is still listening, you just need to speak its language. Let's take a moment to pause and reflect. Because after everything we've explored today, one truth stands out above all. Your muscle is still listening even after 60, even if you felt weaker, slower, or more tired in recent years. It hasn't given up on you. It just needs a different kind of signal, a new language. And now, you know how to speak it. You've learned about anabolic resistance, that hidden shift that makes muscle less responsive with age, and how it's not your fault, not laziness, not just getting old. You've seen why protein alone isn't enough anymore, and how your body needs both the right fuel and the energy to use it. You've discovered the role of creatine, a natural, safe, and science-backed supplement that supports your muscles, brain, recovery, and resilience. You've heard how to take it the right way, avoid common mistakes, and combine it with light training, better sleep, smarter nutrition, and daily movement. None of it requires perfection, only consistency and care. Because the goal isn't just strength, it's freedom, the freedom to walk with confidence, to carry your own groceries, to play with your grandchildren, to stay connected to your body and to your life. Now here's your next step. Start small, but start today. 1 teaspoon of creatine, 1 short walk, 1 nourishing meal with real protein. Do that today, then again tomorrow, and again the day after that. Track how you feel. Notice what changes, not just in your muscles, but in your energy, balance, and mindset. Because when your effort starts aligning with how your body actually works, that's when momentum happens, and that's when transformation begins. So if this video helped you see your health in a new way, if something clicked for you, I invite you to like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Tell me, what's the first habit you're ready to try? What resonated most with you? What would you like to learn more about in the next video? We're building a community here of curious, courageous people who want to live longer, stronger, and sharper. And this conversation is just the beginning. Thank you for being here. See you in the next one.